Well, that is remarkable. It really feels like 98-99% of this stadium have come in support of Peru. Many of the grounds we've been to, there have been lots of neutral fans, there have been lots of local Russians. Here it's Peruvians to the left of me, Peruvians to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with Peru. I mean, it's absolutely 360-degree Peruvians.
It is. It's just, the atmosphere is bouncing. I'm absolutely loving it. There's scarves above heads, there's jumping, there's arms over each other's shoulders and jumping. I just think this is going to be some atmosphere as soon as that whistle goes.
If it's true in football that the crowd really do inspire the players and they really do make a difference, well, then I can't see any way Peru are going to lose this game. It is phenomenal support. Right from when we arrived in Moscow at the start of this tournament, Peruvians have been the most common-sided supporters, but this is huge for them now, having lost to Denmark in their opening game, and they created a lot of chances and they missed a penalty. And earlier on today, with Denmark drawing 1-1 against Australia, this has become increasingly a game that Peru must win to keep their hopes of going to the knockout stages in their own hands. They could technically still go through with a draw here today. However, if Peru were to lose this, then that last game becomes a dead rubber against Australia, and Peru would for certain be out. The two captains are inside the centre circle alongside the referee from the United Arab Emirates, and in there it's the French goalkeeper Hugo Lloris, Tottenham goalkeeper, 100th cap for him today, and the Peru captain Paulo Guerrero, the Flamengo forward, the man who was given the late reprieve from a suspension that would have seen him miss the World Cup. That ban was only dropped 2 weeks before the tournament, and he wasn't ready to start the opening game. He is in from the start from this, and the Peruvians we spoke to yesterday were just emphasizing how important that is. He is the man for Peru. He is the talisman. So here are the teams for France. Lloris, the goalkeeper. Back four: Pavard, Varane, Umtiti and Hernandez. In the middle of the midfield there's a sitting two, Kante and Pogba, and then an attacking three: Mbappe wide right, Griezmann in the middle, Matuidi on the left, with Olivier Giroud coming into the team. That's two changes from the game, the opening game against Australia. For Peru, Galicia's the goalkeeper, Advincula at right back, Christian Ramos and Alberto Rodriguez in the middle, Trauco's the left back, Aquino's been brought in to play with Yotun in the middle of the midfield, then it's Carrillo, Cueva, Edison Flores, and up top, Paulo Guerrero. We are about to get started on 5 Live from the BBC. There is a 4-hour time difference. It is about to strike 8 p.m. local time here in Yekaterinburg. This is the most eastern venue, as we mentioned, of the World Cup host cities. And Antoine Griezmann is standing with the ball in his hands inside the centre circle. And in a moment, the referee will tell him to put that ball down on the deck. And this game will be getting underway. France, who needed an own goal and a VAR penalty to get past Australia. Will they be more convincing here in Yekaterinburg against this very partisan Peru crowd?
Yeah, they've got to show us something today, Connor. We want to see the real France. We want to see the flair. We want to see the speed. We want to see the comfortable football. They've been hiding for a long time, these French players. There's lots of unrest on in the camp, on the training pitch. Now they've got to come together as one. If they want to get to the next stages, they've got to seal a win here.
France wearing their dark blue as we get underway. The Red Sox. Peru in their wonderful kit, all white with that red sash that drops from their left shoulder down to their hip on the right-hand side. France playing from left to right as we look down. We are bang on the halfway line. We are very high up here in this very steep-sided stadium. But it's the Peruvians who are in the back row, either side of us, right and left, that we've got our minds on here, because they are like watching a Subbuteo game up there. They are way up in the gods.
I've never seen a Subbuteo stand that high before. Never. In fact, I couldn't afford the stands. I was happy to have 2 teams and 2 goalkeepers.
So Peru have got possession. Christian Ramos, the clear right-footed, plays his club football in Mexico with Veracruz. N'Golo Kante tries to nip in inside the centre circle. He doesn't get the ball, but Kylian Mbappe will do, and surges it to the Peru half. He's immediately tackled by Miguel Trauco. That's good hard work from the Peruvians, which we expected. They will come at France hard and fast as Carrillo attacks down the right-hand side, and stretching out a foot was the defender Hernandez, and it goes out for a throw-in. Attacking throw-in to Peru down the right-hand side.
You know what, first thought, they got it in midfield, Peru. They hassled, they got the ball off Mbappe. First thing, get it to Guerrero. He held it up, out to Carrillo, and he went straight into the box.
It's loud in Yekaterinburg. France 0. Peru 0. Pogba clears away. Wolfed clearance, just swung his right boot in to switch the ball clear. There's an attempt by Christian Cueva to have a snapshot on the edge of the penalty area. France clear it away, but not for long, because here comes Pedro Aquina, and Peru are looking to lay down the early marker here. They give it out wide right once again. Andre Carrillo, who played with Watford this season, tries to surge away from Matuidi, then takes on Lucas Hernandez, collides with Hernandez, who falls onto the ground. The referee says play on. Carrillo tries to cross it from the right-hand side. Loose ball will ricochet to Pogba, and Pogba's immediately tackled by Advincula. Peru are winning all the 50-50 battles at the moment.
You know what, I don't think Pogba's going to have that much time on the ball. I really don't. He likes to take his time, hassle players, hold on to the ball, and he won't get the time. The Peruvians are right round their ankles.
It's all inside the French half. 0-0 on 5 Live Sport. Carrillo is down nursing a knock near the byline away to our left-hand side, the end that Peru are attacking, and the referee is just going to trudge over to see if he requires any further treatment. He did well to ride a couple of challenges there, and he's picked up a knock, and I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he injured himself, because he went down the wing and he got closed down very quickly, and he gave the French fullback a bit of a nudge. Pavard, I'm not sure if he's hurt himself, knocked his ankle or something. He's not looking too comfortable though.
So earlier on in this group, it finished Denmark 1, Australia 1. Here 0-0 so far in the very early stages between France and Peru, and a free kick is awarded to the French, and that relieves quite a lot of pressure for them, and they can clear their lines.
Yeah, it looks like Peru are up for a bit of a physical battle, not just playing the pretty football and getting into the box quickly and playing fast, playing through Guerrero. They're happy to mix it as well. I've just seen a couple of challenges there. There's a couple of one-on-ones. They're chatting to each other, chatting to the French, saying, come on, man, if you want it, we are here. We're ready for you.
France, who are unbeaten in their last 7 World Cup games against South American opposition. They've claimed some big scalps from that continent over the years. And Peru with a very bright start here, less than 4 minutes played. France 0, Peru 0 on 5 Live. A reminder, you've got a choice of listening this afternoon. England against Australia, the 4th one-day international at Durham, ball by ball right now on 5 Live Sports Extra. You can also listen to that via the BBC Sport app. But here in Yekaterinburg, we're at the World Cup on 5 Live as Varane clears it away high into the air. The noise from the Peruvian fans is deafening here. Aquino controls the ball inside his own half, shuffles into a bit of space and sends it over the halfway line, and a rushed clearance from Luca Hernandez puts it out of play, and France yet to settle into this one.
I don't think they're being allowed to settle. I think the Peru are working so hard, they're making the whole of the midfield of the French players, they're making them rush. Kante's normally looks so cool on the ball, he's being rushed. Left-footed pass, tried to swing it out to his left winger, and he went out of play, nowhere near, because he was being rushed. They're really working hard.
There's a great story about the Peru coach, Ricardo Gareca. He is Argentinian. He scored an important goal for Argentina in the qualifiers for the 1986 World Cup that eliminated Peru, but he's since gone on to become the Peru coach. He's done really well. All that is forgiven. So much so now has he done well, and actually there's suggestions he will be the new Argentina coach after this tournament. Ricardo Gareca. When he took over, they were 64th in the world rankings. He moved them up to the top 10 at one stage. He's had an amazing impact. France in possession. Hernandez plays it forward, too high for Olivier Giroud. I'll tell you, was man marks there. It flew over his head, but he had 2 chaperones. They were like 2 bouncers removing him from a nightclub. Olivier Giroud could not wriggle left, right. He was just ham in the sandwich.
No, they must have worked on it, because every time they receive the ball, the French, there's a couple of Peruvians there putting them under pressure, just making them uncomfortable. Olivier Giroud today will have to be on his game to get anything.
Guerrero hits the deck under a challenge from Matuidi. Big roars from the Peruvian fans that he was foul, but Leonce is the referee. Peru get it back again with Christian Cueva, who tries to lob the goalkeeper from the halfway line. It sails over the top, but this Peru team are full of ideas, and Hugo Lloris has got a little bit pale there. He didn't see that one coming.
You know, Cueva just got comfortable. He could have picked a pass left or right, but he must have had a little glance, and Hugo Lloris, as we know, likes to be out in that position just in case there's a long ball inside the D on the edge of his box. A little bit of a scurry there, a little bit of a scurry.
0-0 on 5 live. We've played 6.5 minutes. France have hardly put a pass together inside their opponent's half as Varane swings it cross field from right to left and picks out Luca Hernandez. Tries to help it onto Matuidi, but easily picked out by Advincula, and Peru were able to clear it away, and then neat and tidy in the midfield as well. Aquino, one of 2 players who's come into the team. Back to Advincula. Short to Pedro Aquino. Aquino, who was the Peru player, you might have read about it in the various previews when the Panini World Cup stickers came out in South America. His name wasn't among the list. He didn't have a sticker, and he absolutely panicked, and he rang up the international. He said, am I dropped? They said, no, that's just the sticker album. That's not the actual World Cup squad.
Oh my word. So many stories that have come out of Peru that have just been, all about getting them here.
And Guerrero tries to come through the middle. Strong challenge on him. I mean, there's plenty of nous with those 2 central defenders from France. Varane of Real Madrid, Umtiti of Barcelona. This isn't their first rodeo. As Aquino here stretches and doesn't get it, and Matuidi back to Pogba. And Pogba needs to hold off Carrillo here, which he does. And then France give it back to the defence. Umtiti onto Varane on his right-hand side. 0-0. France play from left to right as we look down. We haven't played 8 minutes yet. Benjamin Pavard comes in field from right back, lays it up to N'Golo Kante, little drag of the studs. He brings the ball into a little bit of room. Kante gets it back again. Good pressure being applied by Yoshimar Yotun. France are forced back into their own half. Varane goes long. Helped on by Matuidi here to Mbappe. N'Golo Kante now, right-hand side of the midfield as France come forward. Pavard into Mbappe, 7 or 8 yards outside the penalty area. The ball ricochets high into the air. Pavard wins a good header. Giroud goes down inside the penalty area, but nothing doing, not even a flinch from the referee. And Peru were able to clear the ball away, and now they will get a free kick 10 yards inside their own half. Foul on Guerrero, who's being targeted, I think, by the French.
Yeah, they're actually trying to get as close as they possibly can to the Peruvians, but they've won most of the physical battles so far. The boys in white, the French don't like it. They're trying to give a bit back, tried to give a little bit too much back there. Free kick took the pressure off.
Peru take the free kick, played out towards Carrillo on the right-hand side. Hernandez trots across to get close to him. Little dummy of a step over. Then he surges forward as Carrillo turns back in himself. Can he deliver a cross from here? Oh, he's done brilliantly. He's around 2 defenders and into the box. Scoops in the cross. Mbappe is beaten by the bounce. And Peru keep it in play on the left-hand side with Trauco. That was excellent from Andre Carrillo.
That's just an amazing piece of skill. I'm never going to try that.
Forward from Alberto Rodriguez, and it had too much on it. It carries through to Hugo Lloris. France need to be on high alert every time Peru come forward. But now it's the French turn as Pogba comes over the halfway line, skips around Aquino. Aquino drags him down. Free kick to France. This game has started at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it has. It's been sort of 50-50 ball retention at the moment, but the Peruvians are not scared one iota. They've got a game plan. They're trying to stick to it. The French are trying everything.
Here comes Mbappe, and he runs it out of play as the Paris Saint-Germain teenager on the right wing, and that will be a throw-in for Peru, left full-back position for them. Mbappe was neat and tidy, but nothing particularly spectacular from him in the opening French game against Australia. 0-0 the scoreline here in Yekaterinburg. Let's go for an update for the test match at Jonathan O'Brien.
Yeah, fourth one-dayer here at Chester Street, Connor, and Australia comfortably their best period of the series, which of course England have completely dominated. They're 225 for 1, Australia, after 39 overs. Aaron Finch has just brought up his century. He's got exactly 100. Sean Marsh has 58, and Australia 225 for 1 about to start the 40th over.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. Griezmann's had a snapshot that flashed in front of goal. It's still France 0. Peru 0 here. 5 live sport from the BBC at the World Cup in this stadium, which is heavily populated with Peruvians. They've been all over town singing their songs, creating the noise. They massively outnumber the French here. And Peru have enjoyed some early glimpses of attack, particularly with Andre Carrillo on the right-hand side. They have it now at the moment with Alberto Rodriguez, the veteran defender. Oh, he's given it away. And N'Golo Kante, good strong running from him on the right-hand side, but an excellent recovery as well out there. Aquino sliding in, and possession is cleared away. And Pogba now tries to shrug off a defender and turns and drills in a shot from miles out, and it bounced in front of the goalkeeper, who was very fortunate the shot was wide. That seemed very speculative to shoot from there. Paul Pogba nearly scored from about 30 yards.
You know what, he's done so well, because over the past 2 or 3 occasions Pogba's had the ball, he's lost it just through sheer commitment from the Peruvians. Physically he's lost it. This time he set himself. He had himself in between the ball, got a half turn, and he shot from about 30 yards. Wasn't a bad strike either.
These nations have only met once previously. It was a friendly in Paris in 1982. Peru won it by a 1-0 at the Parc des Princes. There is a wicket of the cricket, Jonathan.
First ball of the 40th over, and it's Aaron Finch, the man out. Trapped LBW by Mark Wood for exactly 100. Plum, and 225 for 2 now, Australia.
And commentary of the cricket continues on 5 Live Sports Extra and the BBC Sport app, as Mbappe does a few chop turns on the halfway line, feeds it into N'Golo Kante, back out to Mbappe, clever ball into the penalty area. Paul Pogba will come forward, lays it in front of the Tweedy. He's asking a lot of Hernandez here, who's up from left back. It was a through ball into the penalty area, and Cueva was back covering. Nothing fancy from him. He puts it out for the corner. Corner to France on the left hand side, 0-0.
Yeah, great bit of skill there from Mbappe. I'm still trying to figure out how he actually done that piece of skill, but as soon as he'd done it, nice crisp pass into Kante. Kante spreads it out to the left. They try and get him down the left hand side. They move the ball quickly. That's why they got in. That's why they got the corner.
Griezmann very slowly is walking across to take the corner. It's almost like France are trying to take some of the fizz out of the bottle here that Peru have created with this start. And Griezmann waits and waits, and now the referee, as they have been doing in all the games, they've been very strict about players not holding onto each other's shirts for these set pieces. And Mohammed Abdullah from the United Arab Emirates, who's a financial auditor when he's not a referee, he's the man auditing what's going on inside this penalty area. And he's almost going around individually to everyone in there and saying, I'm watching you, don't hold, I'm watching you. And we still wait to take this corner. Griezmann standing with hands on hips on the far side. It's the left as France come forward. 0-0 in Yekaterinburg. Here comes the delivery from the left-hand side. Not the best corner ever from Griezmann. It's headed out back towards him. He allows it to bounce, knowing it'll be another corner for France.
Yeah, got to be careful here. Peru have got to be careful. There's 3 or 4 holding shirts.
Here comes Griezmann's second delivery. Better this time, headed down and across the face of goal from Varane. That is the most dangerous opportunity France have created so far. They may live to forget missing that.
Yeah, Varane just gets across the near post, and I think it might have been Ramos. He loses Ramos at the near post, and he just rises. And when you get up before you defend, you got every chance of scoring. Just didn't get enough on it. You've got to just kind of glide it to the right hand side, and he just didn't put enough on it.
Let's go for an update from the tennis, and watching Edmund against Kyrgios. Russell Fuller.
And Nick Kyrgios has the win, Connor, in 2 hours and 11 minutes. He's knocked out the British number 1, Carl Edmund, denied him a place in the quarterfinals for the second time in 3 years. They split the first 2 sets on tie breaks, but Kyrgios, the better player and the decider, he's won it by 6 games to 3.
Thanks, Russell. France 0, Peru 0. And free kick to the French inside the centre circle. We've played quarter of an hour. It's been busy so far. This is Group C. And Mbappe spins away from Edison Flores, gets into the penalty area, tries to play a 1-2 with Giroud, and he goes down, and the referee immediately turns, and the French are all appealing for a penalty. Nothing doing with the officials.
Wow, referee, what a big call. I'd like to see it again. I would like to see that one again. My first thought was Mbappe was in, he played a 1-2 with Giroud. Giroud found him with a little back flick with his left. I thought Mbappe was in. I thought he got fumbled over there.
We've got a couple of monitors in our commentary position. Usually if the... Hang on, here's Griezmann shooting. Comes off the shins of the goalkeeper. Good shot on the edge of the penalty area. Saved by Galicier, who just managed to get his knee onto it and force it away out of the penalty area. If the VAR officials have been looking at a penalty decision, for example. Usually it flashes up on our screen. We've not had any flash. I don't think they're even considering it here, as the referee is reaching for a card, and Blaise Matuidi is the first man booked to the match for a foul on the far side.
Wow. The referee may have missed one with the penalty. My first thought was, yes, it was a penalty. Well, here's Umtiti just got done for pace, didn't he?
So 0-0 and another wicket at the cricket. Jonathan Overend.
Yeah, talking of being beaten for pace, Marcus Stoinis clean bowled by Mark Wood, really nippy ball, and Wood strikes for the second time in an over. Australia 227 for 3 in the 40th.
Peru in possession here in Yekaterinburg. Over the halfway line on the right-hand side comes Christian Ramos. Advincula is up from right back. And it's rolled closer to the centre circle once again. Pedro Aquino, 23-year-old. Known to have quite a fiery temper. Plenty of red cards in his career already. Peru trying to play it low into the penalty area, and it's scooped up into the air and comfortably received by Hugo Lloris. This is Varane, just outside the French penalty area. Right-hand side of defence. And he's got Benjamin Pavard just outside him at right back. Djibril Sidibe, who was the first choice right back throughout the qualifying process for France. He's still out with that knee injury that he suffered in the build-up. Lloris drills it straight down the centre here, looking for Olivier Giroud. And again, he can't get clean purchase on the ball. And it's cleared away by Miguel Trauco from the back.
I think they're just trying to go forward just a little bit too quickly to Guerrero. The Peruvians are just got to settle down a little bit, actually, because they're taking 1 and 2 touches, which is good when you've got comfortable possession, but when you haven't, don't try and go long too quick.
Here is Griezmann, flicks it in with the outside of his left boot on the byline from the right-hand side, but no teammate up with him, and it's easily gathered by the goalkeeper, Galiese.
Whereas the French seem to be getting it right. They're going short, then long, or they're going long and they're getting up to Giroud. Giroud has got the beating of these two centre-halves in the air and on the floor at the moment.
Carrillo near the centre circle. Leaves possession to Christian Ramos. France bring all 11 men back behind the ball. Here's Alberto Rodriguez. Now on to Andre Carrillo again, who's come across for a position on the left wing just at the moment. France happy for Peru to have the ball on the halfway line. Christian Cuevo of Sao Paulo. Back to Alberto Rodriguez. Plays his club football in Colombia. Griezmann jogs slowly up towards him, but no significant pressure. And Peru will come down the left. Carrillo again. He's got an overlapping player, Trauco, outside him. Here comes the delivery. Hits the defender, Pavard. And the referee, I think, says there that he's handled that. And it's going to be a free kick to Peru outside the penalty area left-hand side.
Yeah, it was very close as well. It did hit his hand without a doubt, but it was very, very close. Cueva's crossing with the left foot from the left-hand side deep into the left-wing position. And that was just a little bit of patient play, getting into the right areas so they can cross the ball. And a much dangerous ball will come in, as we'll see now.
So a chance to send one in. Yoshimar Yotun is standing over it. I mean, I really, really do love the Peru kit. The numbers are a nightmare because they've got the red sash and the black numbers. It's impossible to tell the difference between 6 and 8 and 19 and 18. This is 19 though. Yotun sends in the cross. Referee had blown the whistle before it even got in there. A push on Umtiti and a free kick out to France.
Yeah.
Rodriguez, the player leading into it.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad ball at all. Umtiti, yeah, just getting pushed over. Listen, it was a lot worse for the France's corner. So there's pulling shirts in both. I'm watching the replay here, and the free kick the referee gave, there's about 3 other players pulling each other's shirts behind at the far post. So the referee's going to have to keep an eye on that, and they've got to be careful not to give something away cheaply.
So just a reminder of the permutations at the moment in this group. Group C. France, if it was to stay like this, would be on top of the group. They would move back ahead of Denmark, who drew earlier. Australia would be third. Peru would be rock bottom of the group. That is if it was to end like this as a draw. And that would mean that France and Denmark would both go through if they were to draw against each other in the final group game. Just a reminder that if France win this, France go through, Peru would be out mathematically, even with that one game to play against the Australians. 0-0 for the moment, 20 minutes played now. Benjamin Pavard, who plays in Germany with Stuttgart, Prepares to take the throw in, short to Pogba. Clumsy touch from Pogba, gives it away with his bright yellow boots down there. And here come Peru with Aquino. And out through Advincula. Up towards the edge of the penalty area, Edison Flores gets to the byline, hangs in across. It's still in play here for Guerrero, but his back was to goal and he was unable to turn. And France are able to clear it away, but Peru will come once more. Pedro Aquino back to the halfway line to Alberto Rodriguez. Skips away from Giroud. Griezmann tries to lunge in on him as well, but he's sure-footed, keeps the ball moving. Aquino onto Advincula and back into their own half again for Peru. And Christian Ramos, so the Peruvian fans of the far side are jumping up and down in unison and waving their flags and urging their team on. This is Trauco, back to Yotun. Peru holding on to the possession here in Yekaterinburg. Ramos gives it out to Advincula again on the far side. France unable to get a touch at the moment, but they won't be too concerned until it comes into their own half, as it does now. Guerrero trying to hold off Umtiti, which is easier said than done. Umtiti falls to the ground, and the referee actually says it's a free kick to Peru. And Guerrero's holding his shirt and intimating that was clearly been pulled, which, to be fair, it absolutely was. What's Umtiti done here, by the way?
I just think, you know what, Umtiti's got hold of Guerrero's shirt, clearly. And then Guerrero's just lifted his arm. He didn't even know that he was that close in regards his hand to face. And referee's giving a yellow card.
Guerrero's been booked, but I think that's as much for protesting afterwards as anything else. Guerrero has been shown a yellow. His hand went backwards. It might have brushed the shoulder, the neck. It is not anything like the sort of, slap to the face that Umtiti intimated it was by falling to the ground. And Umtiti, I think he's not done himself many favours there. Guerrero picks up the yellow card, but it will be the free kick to Peru.
Now that's really, it's horrible to see that, fellow professionals just trying to get each other booked. Guerrero got a free kick. His hand may have touched the cheek of Umtiti or his shoulder. Umtiti went down like somebody thrown some fruit at him, and I mean tin fruit at that. It's ridiculous.
And Advincula's made a clever run here down the right-hand side. Chance to steady himself and try to send in the cross, but parried away by Luca Hernandez, and that goes out for a corner to Peru on the right-hand side. Paulo Guerrero, by the way, the word Guerrero means warrior, and he does look that as he makes his way into the penalty area. He stared down Samuel Umtiti, the big burly Barcelona defender, and he was shown a yellow card for whatever he did there. Here comes the corner delivery from the right-hand side, headed away by Giroud, who was back helping out the defence. Mbappe's the only Frenchman who stayed forward. He won't control it here. Chance for a snapshot from distance. Edison Flores, he never caught it cleanly, and it skids away wide. 0-0.
Yeah, that ball was just cleared out there by Giroud, and it came to Mbappe, and Advincula had to get it right. We know Mbappe's pace. He had to get it right. He didn't dive in. He made sure the ball stayed French side, didn't go above his head. Good defending, good concentration.
Here come France out of defence with Samuel Umtiti. France who have made a couple of changes which has brought their average age up a little bit, but the opening game against Australia, they fielded the youngest team that we've seen at this World Cup so far. Christian Ramos heads the ball down, and Advincula over there takes a tumble, and the Tweedy leaning into it. I don't think there was an awful lot in that, but the free kick has been awarded to Peru. Right full back position for them, and all the noise here, Peruvian voices singing proudly.
Great to see, absolutely fantastic to see. On the way here, walking through the streets, you see red and white everywhere, drums, horns, drums and horns. Just an amazing atmosphere. It really is, and they deserve something, or goal or something.
Yeah, what I'm like about this, I mean, we've shown, we've talked a lot about this temporary stand behind the ground. You can see on the 5 Line Sport Twitter page the video that shows just how steep it is up there. More on that in a moment as the ball is hooked into the penalty area, and N'Golo Kante is back to make a very important header and to clear it away. And then there's a push on the far side, a push on the Tweedy, and that will be a free kick to the French and a chance for them to clear their lines. I was just looking there when the fans were all joining in at what's obviously a very popular Peruvian song. They're jumping around. The people at the very top were not jumping, because up there you're just holding onto your seat for dear life. You are not going to stand up and jump.
You're high enough. Why would you stand up? You're more than high enough.
I'm generally fascinated. If Peru score a goal, I'm not going to be looking at who's celebrating. I'm going to be looking to the top there and see how do the supporters react, because it is petrifying just to sit up there, let alone jump up and down. 25 minutes played. France 0, Peru 0 here on 5 Live Sport. And we've got Argentina against Croatia. Big game as well coming up later on this evening. Full commentary here on 5 Live. Here is Paul Pogba, whose shot, which he thought and was certainly claiming as a goal against Australia, was ultimately given as an own goal. Here is Pavard back into Pogba, playing a rather deep role for the French tonight. As now Mbappe gets it, and he's tackled by Edison Flores. A chance of a counter-attack here for Peru. Flores out to Carrillo on the left-hand side. Takes a few touches. He's got Miguel Trauco outside him, tied up against the touchline. Good hard work by Mbappe. Across to close it down. Ball goes out for a Peru throw.
Yeah, I have noticed that, the likes of Pogba and Mbappe and Griezmann are just wanting to do a little trick before they pass the ball. Instead of getting the ball and passing it to your teammate who might be 10, 20 yards away, they want to do something fancy and then pass it. By that time, they're getting closed down. They're really working hard, Peru. They've got to keep it up, though.
Trauco plays it forward, looking for Christian Cueva, but it sails over his head and carries through to Lloris, the French goalkeeper. He gives it short to Pogba and now chips into space on the far side for Luca Hernandez. He's got Matuidi behind him. Back in field again to Paul Pogba, who you can see is trying to have an influence in this game. He's working hard. He's picking up good positions. Pavard has it on the right-hand side. He's given it away. Peru are doing well with the interceptions in this first half. That was Yotun on that occasion. He's got it again here, just inside his own half. Peruvian coach Ricardo Gareca out drilling instructions, shouting and bellowing down there as Advincula takes the ball past and plays it into a bit of space here. And forward there was Flores on the edge of the penalty area. He dragged Umtiti out of position, and Umtiti did his job and put it out for a throw.
Yeah, I think his head was thinking a lot faster than his feet there. He wanted to do something, what pass he had to make, but the ball wasn't quite under control. Umtiti made sure he went the opposite way.
Edison Flores, whose nickname is the Ears, and it's because, they stick out.
Is he a lookalike for Gary Lineker?
He is the Peruvian Gary Lineker. 0-0 between France and Peru. Game that's been played at a very high tempo here. And Varane's had the best opportunity to score. A header from a set piece that he put off target. No look pass there by Yotun. He should have looked. He just assumed someone would be out on the right wing. But he drilled into that space, so there was no one there. Let's go for an update from Royal Ascot. Here is John Hunt.
A really exciting finish to the Ascot Gold Cup, and it's that man again, Frankie Dettori, who has won it. He rides Stradivarius, the 7-4 favourite, to success. An exciting finish, just too strong for the French challengers. Zavirabad in second place. For Ireland, Torsador was third, and the other joint favourite, Order of St George, finishing in fourth place. So it's Dettori again, Connor. Stradivarius has struck the right note in the Gold Cup.
Thank you very much to John Hunt at Ascot here in Yekaterinburg. 0-0 between France and Peru. And I've been struck down Dublin by how deep Antoine Griezmann is playing.
You know what? He's not getting a kick of the ball at the moment. He's just not getting the ball in the areas where he can affect the game, which is in that sort of middle third there, where he can pick a pass, he can play it forward, and he can follow his pass. And Giroud has been starved of the ball at the moment. For the last 5 minutes, he hasn't really had a touch.
Trauco, the Peru left-back, sportingly rolls the ball out of play for a throw because Mbappe has picked up an injury and he's going to need some treatment. It was Trauco who rammed into the back of him, so he knew that Mbappe wasn't play-acting there. He knew that he had hit him, so that same player very sportingly puts the ball out for a throw, and you'd expect the French to return possession to Peru here as Griezmann takes the throw, gives it to Giroud, who puts it back out for another throw-in.
Oh, they're not happy with that. They're not happy with that at all.
Because it's a throw in left full-back position. Normally the etiquette is you give it to the goalkeeper and you allow him clear it away easily, and having a defensive throw-in isn't quite as comfortable a situation.
No, not at all. No etiquette there from Giroud. He's saying you can stay in the corner, your keeper's not getting it, you're not going to have a comfortable possession, thank you, we'll keep you in this corner.
Olivier Giroud, who came on as a second-half substitute for France in their opening game against Australia, is in for the start tonight. Trauco takes the throw in. Pavard has a touch, but not a convincing one to hold on to possession. That's a lovely ball by Cueva, and he gets on the end of a 1-2 from Flores. Cueva into the pillar. Guerrero! This is the chance! Saved! Saved by Hugo Lloris. It was a brilliant first touch from Paulo Guerrero to get into the position to shoot. And he might just think he could have done better with the shot. What do you make of it, Dion Dublin?
Yeah, listen, I thought he was going to really put his laces through it. He struck it well enough, but it was straight at the goalkeeper. Hugo Lloris was very comfortable, saved it with his feet. If he'd have properly put his laces through that either side of the keeper, he scores. It was a lovely first touch in front of the defender with his right foot, then he struck it with his left.
Oh, it was a brilliant first touch, the way he created room. He had a defender right beside him, but the touch just opened up the gap. He was in, clear side of goal, and he obviously went for power. He just wanted to take the leather off the ball, but by doing so, he didn't get the accuracy to tuck it in the corner, and Lloris saved with his knees.
You know what? That's a really good save. The first touch is unbelievable. It's just... Now, Umtiti is reaching. If you can imagine, it's coming across from the left, and he just gets in front of Umtiti. Umtiti doesn't move his feet. You've got to move your feet quicker. Defend. Stay goal side.
That is Peru's best chance of the game so far. Still 0-0 here. France against Peru after Denmark and Australia drew 1-1 earlier. Long ball pumped forward by Christian Ramos. Umtiti comes across, and well, they'll know all about Paulo Guerrero now, having seen the way he created a chance out of very little there. N'Golo Kante has it, dropping back in between the two central defenders. Varane onto Pavard on the right-hand side. France come over the halfway line. Kylian Mbappe, who's been kept on a short leash so far, flicks it forward with the outside of his right boot, too far in front of Pavard. Across comes Alberto Rodriguez, and he holds it up by the byline. This is a little bit risky here for Peru. Oh, they've given it away to Griezmann on the byline, and then they quickly win it back again. But that was unnecessary there. Sometimes you've got to just clear it. That was one of those moments for Peru, and they might still live to regret it, as Pavard tries to flick it into the penalty area, right hand side for France. Peru get it back again. Still they try to play their way out of trouble here, and eventually it is played off N'Golo Kante and out for a throw into Peru.
Yes, Pavard and Pogba there having some words, a lot of arms being thrown about, shouting at each other. What he's saying, Pogba, is listen, keep it nice and simple. Don't try anything too fancy.
France are working hard here. They have to. They've not really had the opportunity to play much flair football. Let's see what happens here with Hernandez up from left back, challenged by Advincula. Loose ball falls to Paul Pogba. 12 yards outside the penalty area. That's a lovely take. Mbappe's in, tries the backheel volley, and it's saved by Pedro Gallese. He tried to volley it backheeled. What innovation from Mbappe, but he didn't get the power to beat the goalkeeper.
Just didn't connect whatsoever. Paul Pogba there, not even looking. That was like a half no-look pass there from Pogba. Great run from Mbappe. He can't spin his body around to strike it properly, so he tries to get a bit of a backheel on it. Doesn't connect. If he did, he'd hit the target.
Here come France again. Griezmann with Giroud to his left. Giroud tries to give it back to Griezmann, but they're surrounded by defenders, and Peru get it back again.
I couldn't tell you what shape anybody's playing at the moment, because it's just all over the place.
It's like lunchtime at school. They're just all wherever they want to be. It's a chance for Giroud. It's over the top, and it is Mbappe! And there's no offside flag! And Kylian Mbappe becomes the youngest player to ever score in a major tournament for France. The French lead in Yekaterinburg, and as things stand, Peru are going to be eliminated from the World Cup unless they can get back into this one. France have suddenly found some space in attack. Giroud did some good work to set it up, and it's a tap-in for Mbappe. France 1, Peru 0.
Yeah, getting caught in the midfield there, Peru, trying to play out, overplaying slightly, and then you've got Pogba breathing down your neck. Pogba nicks it, he rolls his studs over it, and he just rolls a lovely straight ball into Giroud. The defender does absolutely fantastic, Ramos, by the way, to make the tackle, but then the ricochet from the tackle takes it over the keeper, and Mbappe is there with the easiest World Cup goal he will ever get.
Peru are very unlucky. Giroud was not trying to pass that. He was trying to shoot for goal. The defender's challenge, so it ricochet and loop up over the goalkeeper agonizingly for Peru. It fell right into the lap of Kylian Mbappe. 1-0 to France.
They have done so well as well. They've really done well, Peru. They've worked hard. I hope this doesn't take the wind out of their sails. I hope they still try and play the same way. They're going to have to try and play all the nice football, middle third and forward third.
France 1, Peru 0. 10 minutes to go until the break, and are France going to make it 2 wins out of 2 to give themselves a strong footing in this Group C. France, who have only topped their group twice in their last 9 World Cup appearances. They're often slow starters, but 2 wins from 2 would make it a much easier job when they play Denmark in the final group game. Peru have got an urgency. Well, they've had an urgency from kickoff. It's just gone up a gear. As Trauco runs to play ball boy and collected it. Take this throw in on the left-hand side. Long into the penalty area. Guerrero gets the flick down, but it's to Pogba, who clears with a wallop and launches it long into the Peru half.
I don't know how Kante does this, but whenever there's danger, and maybe if the danger goes or if the danger stopped, it's by Kante, but if it goes, he's always there or thereabouts. He just sees the danger all the time. An amazing mindset.
Well, I think I figured it out. There's actually 2 of them. There's 2 of them.
That's what it is.
They're twins. They both wear the number 13, and that's how he's in 2 places at once. He is absolutely phenomenal. Here is Carrillo on the far side, just rolling the ball forward, and he studs to elude Pogba. Peru on the halfway line. They had one big chance. Paulo Guerrero, he's exactly the man they would have wanted that chance to fall to, but he drilled it straight into the legs of the goalkeeper. Here comes Christian Cueva in off the touchline left-hand side. Some lovely footwork from Carrillo. He's got support from Trauco here. Tries to play it into the edge of the penalty area. Repelled by the French defenders. Falls for Alberto Rodriguez on the halfway line, and he plays into space on the far side. Luis Advincula. And back in now to Yoshimar Yotun, who plays in the MLS with Orlando City. That's a nice scooped ball to the near touchline. Carrillo has to head it down though, or it would have gone out of play, and Mbappe could put some pressure on Trauco. Trauco's done well to hold off that pressure, but then one of the N'Golo Kante slips in and wins possession back for France.
Oh dear, they're seeing the pass, Peru, but they're not playing it. They're playing it just a little bit too late. France can reorganise. Pass has gone.
Blaise with Tweedy, one of the 2 changes by Didier Deschamps in his starting team for today. Was got it back from Griezmann here. Lays it in front of Antoine Griezmann, 10 yards inside the penalty area. Giroud was his target up ahead and cut out by Christian Ramos. It is 20 years since Didier Deschamps lifted the World Cup as France captain, and he's hoping to join that very elusive number of players who've gone on to both win the World Cup as a coach and as a player. This is Christian Ramos coming out of defence for Peru, and that goal scored by Mbappe has eased some of the pressure on the French players. They are much more relaxed now. Didier Deschamps won't want them to be too relaxed. This is Miguel Trauco, left-hand side for Peru. He's got Carrillo up ahead of him. Started the game on the right wing, now very much playing on the left-hand side, up against the inexperienced international Benjamin Pavard, but helped out by Mbappe. Those 2 double up on Trauco, and it's the Peru throw on the left.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and play a little bit more football in this final third here. They've got to keep hold of the ball, pick the right pass, get the ball in the box, try and earn as many chances as you possibly can.
Yotun tries to cross from the left. It's cleared away by N'Golo Kante, and out for another throw into Peru. And we have now got 7 minutes remaining of normal time in this first half. The Peru fans still waving their red and white flags. They enormously outnumber the French here. That's a good ball. Carrillo in the penalty area. Tries to turn Pavard. Excellent defending by Pavard. He was the last line there, really. If Carrillo had been in around behind him, it was 1-on-1. And now France clear in the pace of Mbappe. And he pulls it back for Griezmann. What a first touch by Griezmann. Giroud's after this, but out comes the goalkeeper. And Galicia was alert and needed to be.
Yeah, that's knowing your players. Pogba there striding out. Pogba knew that Mbappe had the pace to get there first.
There's a great pace of this game, and much of it is because it's become effectively now a knockout game for Peru. This might as well be a last 16 or a quarter-final. They have got to score or they will be eliminated from the World Cup. And they're taking chances, they're pushing players forward. That's allowing France to counter-attack, and it's all making it very entertaining for us, the neutrals, as possession in the midfield with Edison Flores onto Advincula on the right-hand side. Between's drop deep. Pogba now steps forward to apply a little bit of pressure, just shadowing Edison Flores, really. Here is Yotun, short for Paulo Guerrero, who I think is beginning to drop deeper here because he's impatient that the ball's not coming up to him often enough. Referee blows the whistle. That will be France the possession. We're going to go for a wicket of the cricket with Jonathan Overend.
257 for 4 Australia, and we're in the 45th over, and Ashton Agar, the latest man out, caught behind by Josh Butler off the bowling of Adil Rashid. He made 19. Australia were 225 for 1, so this has been a good effort from England in the last few overs to really restrict the tourists. 258 now for 4 in the 45th.
Ball by ball commentary continues right now on 5 Live Sports Extra here on 5 Live. France 1, Peru 0. If you're just tuning in, Kylian Mbappe has scored the opening goal. Free kick here for the French, played forward by Varane towards the edge of the penalty area, too high for Giroud, and that will skim out for a goal kick to the South Americans.
Yeah, you know what, Peru are now, they're playing in lines. Guerrero doesn't want the players in and around him. He wants them to arrive when he's got control of the ball. Arrive, don't come and stand by the side of me. What they're doing, and they've got 3 up front, 3 in the midfield, and there's nobody in between, just in that little gap behind Griezmann and Kante. That's where they need to be.
Goal kick taken by Alicia, away to our right hand side, rolls it short for Christian Ramos. Matuidi comes now to put pressure on Advincula, the right back. France just holding a slightly higher line now. They've 4 or 5 players inside the Peru half, not just sitting back and absorbing as they had been doing. Alberto Rodriguez, as we're into the last 4 minutes now of the first half. Trauco plays it over the halfway line. N'Golo Kante, inevitably the man nipping in there, trying to win possession back for France, but Peru still got it. Advincula with a poor first touch. Matuidi's into pounds, wins possession back for France. This is Pogba on the halfway line. Good turn, lays it up to N'Golo Kante, and now Matuidi is released into a little bit of space on the left-hand side. Giroud waiting around the edge of the penalty area. Griezmann has it a bit deeper here. Back to Paul Pogba. Looks up, doesn't like what he sees to the right-hand side, so turns back and gives it short left to Matuidi. Back into Pogba, back to the halfway line to Umtiti, and France trying to frustrate Peru here, who must chase, who must harry, because they quite simply must score. This is Varane onto the goal scorer Mbappe. Pavard is way up from right back like a right winger at the moment. Back infield to Pogba again, and you can just see that France at the moment are trying to suffocate possession here and make sure that Peru can't get a kick. N'Golo Kante on the halfway line. Back out to Pavard on the right-hand side. Still Peru work hard to try and force an error. Mbappe skips in, does a very fancy flick. N'Golo Kante to Griezmann. Brilliant vision. Here's the chance. Shot by Hernandez. Saved by the goalkeeper. Hernandez again. And it's a poor second effort. It's across the face of goal. But that was very threatening from France. Bit of slow, quick, slow. But when they were quick, they were lightning. And they created an excellent opportunity for Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez. If Hernandez was right-footed, he would have come onto that and struck it with his right foot. He probably curled it in the far corner. He just gave the defender a little bit of time to come over and try and block it. Keeper made a good save, but that's what it's all about. French have got to pick the right pass at the right time.
We've seen on every kick that France have had at this World Cup so far. We commentated on their opening game against Australia. That little passage of play there, turning midfield into attack, is the best movement I've seen for them so far. That's the kind of stuff that people were saying they could be one of the favourites of the tournament if they can provide that kind of flair.
Yeah, and that's what they've got to do. Keep it simple. Use your players.
Here they come again. Griezmann's got Mbappe outside him. He slightly overcooked the pass, but Mbappe gets there anyway. Here comes the dink back into the middle. Griezmann was ready to pounce, but it's cleared away by Yotun. And Peru working so hard to get so many bodies back into the penalty area, and Mbappe's pace very nearly causing problems as N'Golo Kante makes another interception, but he can't control it, and the ball goes out for a throw into Peru, who still trail 1-0 on 5 Live.
Yeah, they've just got to stay with it, Peru. Don't go under. Keep trying to play your game. Keep concentrating. Keep your shape. Make sure that the 2 centre halves are talking. There's not big gaps in between them, because that's when the French will find those gaps with willing runners.
Plenty of heavy rain earlier on today in Yekaterinburg. This is the most eastern of the host cities. It's the only World Cup venue which is in Asian Russia. And there is a different feel here as well, Dean, isn't there? There's a lot of the old sort of Soviet statues and statues of Lenin and a few kind of older kind of Soviet-era buildings. Doesn't have the slick modern vibe you get in Moscow, but still a very impressive place.
Yeah, it's a really nice place. We've said this all along through the whole of the World Cup. Russians have been amazing. They've got it great. Stadiums are beautiful. Buildings are incredible. I'm just looking to the left now. I've got the main stand in front of me, and then there's a gap in between the main stand and that newly erected stand, that portable football stand, I'm going to call it, which they're going to take down and put up somewhere else. And the buildings look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, there's all these sort of gold domes and spires in the distance, in between a few little skyscrapery buildings, and very wealthy area in the Urals. A lot of minerals and that sort of thing come from here. A few gemstones. Dion will be bringing a few of them home as Pavard stretches to try and keep the ball in play just down below us, and it goes out for a throw.
I'd rather you keep that quiet. the wife will be listening, and I could be under some severe pressure.
A bit of pressure there. This is the place. If you're going to make a purchase, this is the place to do it. The streets are almost paved with them, as possession with Luka Hernandez on the far side. There's a bit of Russian bling around Yekaterinburg, you could certainly say that, as Pogba plays it forward, right-footed up towards Olivier Giroud, controls on his chest. Ramos is in behind him. Oh, that's excellent from Giroud. He's got away from the central defender. Griezmann's with him. Griezmann tries the back heel return, and well intercepted by Yotun down there, who will now take it off towards the corner flag. Griezmann putting pressure on him. This has been a real trait of Peru. When they're caught in a corner like that, they keep trying to play their way out of trouble. They won't just wallop it into the stands.
Not at all. And they're trying to do things the right way. Because the French are looking so strong now, they're looking pretty comfortable. Most of the football's been played to the right-hand side, as we see. That's the Peru half. They're finding it hard to get out of their own half at the moment. But that's what I'm telling about Giroud. He's being reliable. The ball's going into him. He's being reliable. Get too close to him. Ramos and Rodriguez are being spun.
4-hour time difference between here and the UK. It's coming up to 10 to 9 at night in Yekaterinburg. There's Samuel Umtiti at the back for France, who lead 1-0 here. Lays it to Pavard. Varane gets a touch as well, and then Pavard turns and rolls it all the way back to the Centurion, Hugo Lloris, making his 100th international appearance for France tonight. Luka Hernandez on the far side, showing a bit of flair, tries to put it one side of Carrillo and run around the other side, but Carrillo's nipped in to pick his pocket, and then Griezmann, who's doing great defensive work tonight, it has to be said, nips in and wins the ball for France, tries to play in Olivier Giroud, and good recovering. I think it was Cueva who got, it was the left back, it was Trauco who came across and made a very important challenge on the edge of the penalty area. So there is the whistle for half-time. The goal from Kylian Mbappe, the teenager, the 19-year-old, the world's second most expensive footballer ever, has France in front. Dion Dublin.
You know what? They deserve to be in front. When they do have the ball, they've kept it better. They're starting to use the runs of Mbappe and Griezmann, and Giroud's being reliable. Pogba's now got his foot on this ball. He's got his foot on this game. He's in control. But Peru are only one down. They are still in with a shout.
Remember, if Peru lose this, their World Cup is over in terms of a competitive nature. They will have a dead rubber final group game. They have 45 minutes to try and turn it around. For now, France 1, Peru 0. Yeah, thank you very much, Kelly. Peru are going to make a double substitution at half-time. They're going to bring on Farfan, who was the main striker in the opening game against Denmark. They're also going to bring on a man who plays at right back, Anderson Santa Maria. So it'll be interesting what sort of rejig this is going to provide. But they've got to do something, Dion Dublin, because if Peru don't score, their World Cup is over. Their final game would be a dead rubber.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Farfan's going to go up top and play next door, right alongside Guerrero, and maybe play as a two. Just give those two centre-halves of France something to think about. But yeah, they've got to go for it. This is your last 45 minutes in this World Cup, unless you do something tonight, lads.
Right, so they're going to take off the veteran defender. Alberto Rodriguez is taken off. Santa Maria will come on instead of him. And further up the field, Yoshimar Yotun, who was playing in midfield, he's been the man hooked to allow the striker Farfan to come on. Farfan, who plays his club football here in Russia with Lokomotiv Moscow. He scored 22 international goals in the past. They need one now. And by the way, here's the stat for you, Dion. France have never lost a World Cup game in which they led at half-time.
Wow. That could be the commentator's curse right there, pal.
They have never thrown a half-time lead away to lose at a World Cup. So Peru have it all to do. Back underway in Yekaterinburg. It's gone 9 o'clock at night here, 4-hour time difference from the UK. Antoine Griezmann, who's been enjoying his role behind Giroud tonight, flicks the ball onto Kylian Mbappe. Matuidi comes in the attack now, left-hand side for France. Stretching was Advincula, who's done well to win the ball here. Now can he play his way out of trouble? Matuidi's leaning into him. Matuidi fouls him. Free kick to Peru, right full-back position for them.
Yeah, just take your time. Peru have just got to calm down. France have come out the blocks. Yeah, it's a couple of seconds in, but they've come out the blocks, France. They're all on the front foot. Even with a free kick here in the right back spot for Peru, they're all really far forward, high line as well.
If you weren't with us for the first half, Peru had one big opportunity to score. Paulo Guerrero, their star centre forward, with a brilliant first touch to get himself into space, but then he drilled his shot straight at the goalkeeper. Free kick here for Peru on the edge of their own penalty area, drills straight down the centre of the pitch. Samuel Umtiti jumps with Farfan, neither of them get a touch, but the referee then blows the whistle, and this is for a foul on Umtiti, who definitely did a bit of play acting in the first half. Now I'm not quite sure what's happened here. Farfan and Umtiti jumped together, neither touched the ball, but Umtiti is doing the sort of wriggling around that would suggest he's probably not that hurt, because if he was really hurt he wouldn't be moving like that.
I'm not quite sure what's gone on there, but Umtiti is still rolling about. Oh, I'll tell you exactly what's happened. Yes, okay, yes. So he's got a straight knee right into his left thigh. They both went up for the ball. I think might have been Farfan that came, the sub that's been on, and he kneed him right into his left thigh. And I can tell you now that is incredibly painful, because there's very little muscle there, straight onto the bone. And that will start to swell up immediately, and he'll start to stiffen up. What he's got to do is get up and get it moved in.
Yeah, no, I take it all back on that occasion. Umtiti was hurt there. Bit of a boy who cried wolf for the what happened in the first half, but so much so that they might even be thinking about making a change here. We are going to have a little bit of a delay while Umtiti continues to receive treatment. And with France leading Peru by 1-0, I know you're delighted to be here with us in Russia, Dion, but there was also a reason you might have wanted to be at home today.
Yes, there is. I want to pay tribute to my very good friend, Mr. J. Lloyd Samuel, who died a few weeks ago in a car crash. I just wanted to let him know that he may be gone, but he's never forgotten. J. Lloyd, rest in peace, my friend.
And the significance of today being that today is his funeral.
Yes, It was today, and work's work, and J. Lloyd would understand. He'll want me to give this the best I possibly can, and if you're listening now, this one's for J. Lloyd.
Absolutely. So, Umtiti makes his way to the touchline. He looks like he's going to be okay to come back on, but as Dion says, that might just hurt him and hamper him a little bit. Forceful knee by the substitute Jefferson Farfan into the upper thigh, hip area of Samuel Umtiti.
Yeah, they just get, when you have that kind of injury or that kind of blow, it just gets stiffer and stiffer very, very quickly.
Giroud holds the ball up on the edge of the Peruvian penalty area, but he can't control it for long, and then there's a header in there by Advincula. Tries to pick out a teammate. Giroud as well to pick it back up against for France. Matuidi wants to surge around Pedro Aquino, but he fails to do so, and that goes out for a throw into France. Left-hand side for them, and the Peruvians continue to cheer on their team with real gusto. With the colour, vibrancy of the World Cup, it will be a shame if their competitive edge of this tournament leaves them tonight. They would still have to go through the process of playing that final game. I'm sure the tens and thousands of Peruvians will remain here to cheer them on, but that's going to take just a little bit of a sparkle away from the tournament. Mind you, France have upped a gear here. They deserve to be in front.
Yeah, they have. I spoke to Kelly beforehand, and I said to Kelly, listen, we need them all to stand up and be counted now. All the good players have got to have a good game. So far they have. They look comfortable. But yes, you're right. Peru have made this World Cup for me so far.
Farfan edges the pass out to the left-hand side to Christian Cueva. Good work by N'Golo Kante. Varane with a very poor pass, though. Straight back to Farfan, 10 yards outside the penalty area. Swivels around, lays off a pass to Edison Flores, who's in the penalty area. Farfan, for a third time involved in the move, gives it back to Aquino, who's hit the post. What a goal that would have been. Pedro Aquino has walloped it off the woodwork. It would have been one of the team goals of the World Cup. How close can you get?
Wow, what a strike! Oh, that is an amazing strike. You know what? That's just incredible. It's hit the crossbar and the post right at the top. He's actually struck that. It's a really hard strike. It comes from the left. It has to go across his left foot, and he struck it unbelievably.
If he was to try that 100 times, he wouldn't have wanted to hit it any better. That is so unfortunate for Peru. It's still France 1, Peru 0. Another wicket of the cricket, Jonathan Overend.
Tim Payne, LBW to David Willey for 3. Australia now 307 for 8. We're in the final over. They lost 4 wickets, Australia, for just 8 runs after that over, where they hit England for 25. So this has been a terrific job from the home side. Final over, Australia 307 for 8.
Thank you, Jonathan. Here in Ekaterinburg, France 1, Peru 0. Well, that was certainly a reminder to the French that this ain't over yet. Pedro Aquino, who's only ever scored 1 international goal in the past, he very nearly scored one of these spectacular strikes in this World Cup. It's the outside of the boot. It's curling and bending towards that top corner. Yeah. It needed 1 more inch.
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those where he knows exactly what he's got to do. He doesn't even strike it for goal. He sets it out away from the post, and the way that your foot hits the ball, it'll just make it bend it in. It just didn't bend in enough. What a strike, though.
Pavard onto Mbappe. France playing from right to left as we look down. The dark navy shirts, the lighter blue sleeves, the red socks, and Griezmann has it now. Crossing position on the right hand side, gives it a good ball, too high for Matuidi, and then it runs in front of Luca Hernandez, and that goes out and returns possession to Peru. They will have a throw in, right full back position for them, right up against the corner flag.
Yeah, that was Griezmann going down the right hand side. He sort of checked back and he sort of pinged it into the box, but far too hard. Just goes out for a throw in. Very harmless cross.
Antoine Griezmann, who got his 21st international goal in the opener against Australia. He's not done much centre-forward play tonight. He's been a support act, and an effective one at that. It's a deeper role for Griezmann this evening, with Giroud and Mbappe more advanced of him. Free kick here to France. Left-hand side, Griezmann comes across to take.
Yeah, I'm not sure that role suits Griezmann. I'd like to see him in and around Giroud a little bit more, maybe change it a little bit more with Kanté and Mbappe, mix it about a bit, make them think. But he's got a free kick here in a great area. It's going to be an outswinger, about 18-20 yards out on the left-hand side.
Yeah, one-man wall has been erected anyway, but it's not a shooting position. This is a crossing location for Antoine Griezmann, player of the tournament at Euro 2016, won the Golden Boot on home soil. He's got 1 goal to show for World Cup 2018 so far. And deliberately, slowly steps back and prepares to hit this free kick. Mbappe has now run over to stand beside him as well. And that's just dragging a defender with him. Here comes the ball in, played towards the back post towards Mtiti. It won't sit up for Giroud. Pogba with a clever backward header though, and then the goalkeeper calls and the defender leaves it, and Galise does well to make the save. But then he rushes his clearance and it goes straight out of play.
Yeah, Galise has to get this one right. He's only got 1 player to pick out. He tries to put it over the top. They have scored 46% of their qualifying goals on fast breaks, but on this occasion you've just got to take the sting out of the game just for 2 seconds.
Mbappe's goal still separates the teams. We've played almost 9 minutes of the second half. 1-0 to France here. Back to the cricket and Jonathan Overend.
Really entertaining end to the Australian innings here, Connor, in the 4th one-dayer. They're 310 for 8 after their 50 overs. They were 296 for 4 at the end of the 47th. 25 off that over, but 14 for 4 in their last 3 overs. Great work, David Willey, who took all those wickets. England will need 311 to win.
Commentary on 5 Live Sports Extra. Another free kick to France, who are spending more time in the Peruvian half than they did in the early stages of the first half.
There's a real good battle. Giroud now is talking to the linesman, telling them about pulling and holding. Him and Ramos are having a proper ding-dong.
Free kick taken short. Pogba trying to get away from Farfan. Left-footed from Pogba, down into the channel, looking for Matuidi. And a challenge there from Pedro Aquino, the man who almost scored a wonder goal, but denied by the woodwork. France still 1-0 in front, and they've no urgency here about this throw as Luca Hernandez slowly walks over. This is, no, I don't like that ball, give me another one. Like he's preparing to take a serve at Wimbledon. And France happy to frustrate Peru, who just want to get on with this because they know time is already running out. Hernandez has it by the corner flag. Back to Pogba. Pogba tries to wriggle through 2. Falls to the ground. Play on, says the referee. Peru play their way out of trouble. N'Golo Kanté intercepts for France, who'll remain on the attack inside the Peru half here. Luca Hernandez shrugs off, first of all, Carrillo, keeps going to the edge of the penalty area. Pogba with a step over gets to the byline, and then he gets the result he wanted, plays it off Advincula, and that will be a corner to France, who are playing well.
Playing a very clever game at the moment, the French, just enticing the Peruvians in there. Aquino's getting too close, Ramos is getting too close. They're all just trying to steal the ball off the French too eagerly and giving away silly free kicks and corners.
It's hard for Peru, though. They have to be eager, they have to be urgent. Here comes the corner, played in by Mbappe. Goalkeeper comes, didn't quite get it. Umtiti in front of him, and they're relieved that Farfan is there to volley clear on the edge of the penalty area, and the ball goes out of play for a French throw on the far side.
Yeah, they've got to get close. I'll agree with you there, Connor. They've got to get close, they've got to squeeze them, but you can't keep giving free kicks away. You've got to get there, stand, make sure that they go the way that you want them to go, and don't give them any easy possession.
Peru, who beat Scotland in a warm-up game last month, they made them by 2-0. They're going to need 2 goals here if they're to win this game. Most importantly, if they can get a draw, that will keep them alive going into their final match against Denmark. At the moment, Peru would be eliminated with a game to spare if it stays like this. Matuidi with the back heel onto Mbappe, skips away from Aquino. And then Mbappe with a lovely trick there, plays a disguise ball into the penalty area. Matuidi, I think it was a cross more than a shot, but it hit Flores. It could have spun anywhere, it spun into the arms of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Mbappe there just twisting and turning, going by 2 or 3 players, and a little bit of a no-look pass there into Umtiti. Doesn't quite get it where he wants it, but now Mbappe now is loving it. He's getting the ball, he's been able to run, he's got space. That's what he wants.
Ball sails over the top of Guerrero and Umtiti, and cleared away by Luca Hernandez. Matuidi here allows it to sail over his head. There's a touch by Advincula, and now Aquino, and Advincula once more on the halfway line. Matuidi tracking between the two of them. France working hard when they don't have the ball. That's an excellent pass though. Carrillo almost into the penalty area down the right hand side, whips it across, it's in front of Guerrero, and there's no one else there for Peru.
Now Carrillo plays the right ball in, but nobody's there.
This is Cueva, and now a chance on the edge of the penalty area, and blocked away by Pavard. France have got to be on high alert here. Carrillo steps into the box. That's a dive. He's looking for a penalty. Nothing doing with the referee. He pushed the ball far in front of him. He knew he wasn't going to get onto it, and he goes to ground. Matuidi was leaning into him, but I still think he goes down under his own momentum there.
Yeah, I think he's looking for it there. There's no gap at all. There's 2 French players there saying, listen, the ball might be going through, but you're not going through, pal. So he thinks, okay, I'll take a dive.
Matuidi, the Juventus player. It's cleared for Peru by Christian Ramos from the back, up towards Paulo Guerrero. Good flick on header. Then it might have come back to him, but Pavard gets a touch for France. This is Pogba, unnecessary drag back there. He didn't have room to do that in the centre circle. He's given possession away. Peru have it. This is Guerrero onto Trauco on the far side. Back in field to Edison Flores. That's too intricate. He tried to pick out Cueva again, but it's picked up for France. N'Golo Kante over the halfway line, trying to feed it in front of Kylian Mbappe, but it runs out of play and a throw into Peru.
Just running out of space there. Kante really, because Mbappe wants the ball in front of him. Very rarely that he wants to stay and come back and take it to his feet. Put it into that space. He'll get on the end of it and give you something at the end of the run.
Just saw a picture on our monitors of Didier Deschamps. He's been 6 years in the job now. Has he got the balance right in this French team? 2-1 win against Australia in the opener. 1-0 they lead against Peru here with almost an hour played now in Yekaterinburg, and increasingly Peru have got to throw everything at it now. Varane clears away, another throw into Peru on the far side.
Unfortunately now Peru have now got to gamble. They have got to gamble. There's 30 minutes left. They've got to start getting a foothold on this game, creating chances.
Advincula, right-footed ball into the penalty area. Guerrero slipped. I don't think he would have got there anyway. Chance to keep it alive here with Cueva. Christian Cueva plays in Brazil with Sao Paulo. Now Pedro Aquino. And they've got to go back to the halfway line, Peru, in order to hold on to the ball. Christian Ramos, options right, left and centre. chooses the right-hand side, threads it through for Advincula. The right back gets to the byline, tries to come around Matuidi. He's done well, he hangs in across it, and N'Golo Kante is in the right place, as he almost always seems to be, and he heads it away. But Peru are asking questions of France here. Will they get their breakthrough, though?
They are. They're getting into those crossing positions I was talking about in the first half, and they're actually putting it in the danger area and get some players forward. Have a gamble.
Now they've got a chance. Little bit of room on the left-hand side into the penalty area. The ball gets pulled back, but Guerrero can't get onto it on the edge of the 6-yard box. France are sitting deep at the moment. Here come Peru again. Cuevo can't control it in the penalty area. This is Edison Flores. Support up ahead of him from Trauco. He's the left back, but he's up like a left winger at the moment. Cueva comes again. Farfan with the back heel. Chance to hit it, and he does hit it, Carrillo, but over the top. Always rising. They keep coming, Peru, though.
Yeah, they do. They're having a proper go now. Farfan is a long way out. He's a good 25 yards out, 28 yards. Tries to put his laces through it, doesn't quite hit the target, but you can hear the fans. That little passage of play has got these Peru fans waving and jumping at either end of this stand now.
I'm looking around the stadium. It's obviously an all-seater stadium. I can hardly see any Peruvians sitting down. They are on their feet. I'm sure they are biting fingernails. Pogba plays it forward, too much on it. That carries all the way through to the goalkeeper. So Peru get the ball back, and they come again. Is there to be an equaliser for the South Americans, or will the gambles they're taking now allow France to get a second, and that could pull the shutters down?
They've just started to make good decisions now, Peru. They need to. Half got to gamble, half got to concentrate. You've got to get the balance right now.
Christian Ramos comes over the halfway line. France with 10 men behind the ball. Giroud the only one there. They're leaving forward. Advincula won't get on to the second leg of a 1-2. And that goes out for a throw into France, left full-back position. And any of these little breaks in play, France are taking their time, and they're just trying to kill some of the momentum that Peru are trying so desperately to create. Good work by Carrillo to pick out Edison Flores. Scoops it into the penalty. Guerrero tries to get away from Varane, but he couldn't find the space. Lloris comes out and gathers it.
Yeah, Flores just trying to pick out the big Guerrero there. He's right in the middle of the D there, but he couldn't see the ball. He chipped it into an area, but he had his back to that area, so he couldn't twist and get onto it. But Hugo Lloris again out of his box, ready for the through ball.
Guerrero, who plays his football in Brazil these days with Flamenco. He was in Germany for quite a while. He was once on Bayern Munich's books. He played for Hamburg as well in Germany. He's the one they want to get a chance for. He had one big chance in the first half. He wasn't able to beat the French goalkeeper, Lloris. Here comes Pavard over the halfway line. France probably need a spell now in the Peruvian half to relieve some pressure. Giroud has it here, 5 yards outside the penalty area. Left-hand side, wonderful cross-field ball. Picks out Mbappe in the box. Right-hand side, tries to go around Trauco. Trauco stood his ground very well, and that goes out for a throw into France. They remain on the attack.
It just didn't need Pavard in and around Mbappe there. When you see he's isolated one-on-one, leave him alone. Let him do his skill.
Pavard will take the throw in. He's a centre-back at club level. He's playing right back for France at this tournament because of that injury to Djibril Sidibe, which has already got a few French people remembering when they won the World Cup in '98, and Lilian Thuram, who was often a centre-back, was playing right back, and they're trying to make some parallels with that. As Peru get it back just outside their own penalty area, and they've got to try and turn defence into attack. And this is Christian Cueva on the far side, runs into N'Golo Kante, who is so effective in that role. He's the one making it difficult for Peru in the midfield. Hernandez on the halfway line for France helps it onto Matuidi in the white boots. Just turns and back to Umtiti. Samuel Umtiti of Barcelona, and now it's Rafael Varane of Real Madrid, who won his 4th Champions League winners' medal last month. Varane plays it forward, too far in front of Giroud. And France trying to get that ball over the top for the Chelsea striker, but it runs through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's difficult when you straight ball like that, straight down the pitch, and Giroud's straight as well. It's really difficult as a forward to get hold of it. You got a defender in front, defender behind. As well as Giroud's played, he was never going to get on the end of that ball. Farfan
up against N'Golo Kante. Referee says N'Golo Kante has fouled him. So a free kick to Peru inside the France half, and they take it short to Pedro Aquino. He's the man who's had the best shot of the second half that hit the woodwork. It's as close as Peru have come. He's on it again here, Aquino. Carrillo available on the right-hand side. Short ball back into the midfield to Aquino, up to Farfan, who turns N'Golo Kante, but he can't get around him, Titi. And now a chance of a counter-attack for France, and Pogba strikes it with the outside of the right boot, but that's intercepted. Good challenge by Trauco to ensure Mbappe doesn't get there, and this now releases Christian Cueva down the left wing for Peru. The edge infield towards the penalty area. Varane stretches, doesn't get there. Pogba does enough to hold it up, but he can't win the ball back. Pedro Aquino midway inside the French half, central location. He's got Advincula on his right hand side. Further outside is Carrillo, who makes a darting run, but Advincula wants to hold on to it for himself for the moment. Gives it back into the midfield to Christian Ramos and on to Pedro Aquino, and now out to Edison Flores, and France have got 11 back behind the ball here. Peru have possession, but can they break the French down? Good crossfield ball to pick out Carrillo on the right hand side. He's controlled it well. Can he deliver the cross? Here it comes from Titi with the header, and he puts it out for a throw, and France are being pushed back here again.
Yeah, they're pegged in at the moment. I can look in right now, I'm counting 7 players, 7 blue shirts in their own box defending this. They've got this one goal, they want to hold on to it, but the Peruvians are coming.
Advincula with a long throw into the penalty area. Luca Hernandez heads it away for France. They're all back in defence though. So Christian Gomez can look up, plays it short into midfield to Aquino. Pogba comes close to it. In support for Peru, Andre Carrillo. Back to Aquino, now forward to Advincula, who's done well to hold off Matuidi. Aquino went to ground off the ball there, claiming he'd been fouled by Pogba. Play on, says the referee. Aquino gets back to his feet, collects possession midway inside the French half. Griezmann's working hard here to try and limit the options from Peru, but they're neat and tidy in possession at the moment. Edison Flores out to the left wing. This is Christian Cueva running at Pavard, the fullback, tries to get it into the penalty area. More support needed. Trauco comes from left back. Here's the cross. Guerrero heads it straight down into the ground in the penalty area, and Pavard is relieved to clear it away. And I think Guerrero might have been caught in two minds there, but the chance has gone a begging for Peru, and France are relieved to clear, but they give it away again. Matuidi can't hold on to the ball. So here we are midway through the second half on 5 Live from the BBC. We are in Yekaterinburg, where Mbappe's goal has France in front. Peru must score or their World Cup is over. Here they come. Chance for Aquino on the edge of the D. Doesn't fancy the shot from there. Pogba was doing well to close him down. Now Advincula's up from right back. He hits it left-footed, and it goes over the top, but not by much. And the ooze from the Peru fans, and they keep banging on the door.
Yes, they do. You know what? They're playing some really good stuff. You know, France are now thinking we might have to get behind the ball a little bit. Peru have had more of the ball over the last 5 minutes. They're trying to create good openings. They're not overplaying, which is good to see. When there is a chance to take a shot or cross it, they are doing so much better. The fans, we're seeing the pictures of the fans, and look at them shouting and screaming. Come on!
Even before kick-off, they were playing some songs, and Peruvian fans had tears in their eyes. It's been such an emotional roller coaster, such national pride. But their team hasn't won anything yet. They were beaten in their opening game by Denmark. They are trailing 1-0 to France here. Didier Deschamps' team are trying to professionally see this through, but here comes Paulo Carrera up against Umtiti. Umtiti does well. Barcelona defender puts it out for a corner, and the Peru defenders come sprinting up for the set piece.
Absolutely great forward play by their hero Guerrero, holding off Umtiti. Umtiti having to give the corner away. That is fantastic forward play. Now we've got a half chance for Peru.
Corner, left-hand side. You cannot take your eyes off this. Big Ramos, the centre forward, is up in the penalty area. Here comes the delivery, left-footed from the far side. Giroud with the header on the edge of the 6-yard box, up into the air. Whistle's blown anyway. There's been a push on someone down there, and that will be a free kick to France, and they needed that decision to go their way. Not quite sure what the free kick was given for, but anyway.
I'm just looking at the replay there. I couldn't see anything at all. Just seen Giroud headed the ball away. No problem at all. Referee's seen something we haven't. Fair play. Unless he was indicated by one of his linesmen.
9:30 on this Thursday evening in Yekaterinburg, way off to the east in Russia. 4-hour time difference to back home. And Peru trailing 1-0 here in this remarkable stadium, which they've put in these 2 temporary stands at either end that absolutely defy all sorts of logic. Go to the 5 Live Sport social media pages. You'll see a video myself and Dion did showing just how out of this world these temporary stands are. That structure will never be built in Western Europe. It would not be allowed. They would just, if you drew that in plans, they would say, will you go away and have a meeting with yourself? Are you nuts? It's crazy, but they've done it.
They'd say, take half of that away, will you, please?
And it would still be ridiculous. There's these huge stands. The people who are sitting in the back of the stands are higher than the stadium roof, if that makes any sense. It's so hard to describe this because it's just absolutely outrageous. You've got to see it. Go to the 5 Live social media pages. You'll see the video showing just how steep it is and just how high it is. And then as you do, remember, it's a temporary structure. It's all just held up with scaffolding. Here's a throw-in. Left-hand side for France and Luca Hernandez. France leading 1-0. Mbappe's goal in the first half. Pavard is up from right back here, but he won't get onto it in the penalty area. Good covering back by Christian Cueva, and he heads it out for a throw-in to France on the right-hand side. 20 minutes to go. Huge 20 minutes for Peruvian football. It's 36 years since they were last in a World Cup. It could be about to end here.
They've just got to concentrate, keep playing the game. When they get forward, they're now creating chances, but when they haven't got the ball, they have to work hard.
Hernandez for France, just outside the penalty area, left-hand side. Short pass from Matuidi. Matuidi would have wanted a bit more on that. It allowed Advincula to nip in and win possession. And then helped by Carrillo, Peru should be able to clear it away here. They like to live life on the edge. Carrillo goes dribbling back into his own penalty area. Helped out by Aquino here. And Hernandez kept up the pressure, got the touch. That's what Peru wanted because it's now a Peru throw.
You know, if you are down here in the right-hand corner, Carrillo is under pressure. He doesn't really want to launch it, but Guerrero has to get over down on the same side as the ball so he can clear it to his centre-forward. Give him an out ball.
Possession with Anderson Santa Maria, who plays his club football in Mexico. He was the man who came on as a sub at half-time. France drop deep into their own half once again. Invite Peru to come on to them. The clock ticks on. Just over 18 minutes now of normal time remaining. It's plenty time to score one goal, but will it come for Peru? They've not created many clear-cut chances. They've had some very spectacular shots from distance. The one proper close-range opportunity was Guerrero in the first half, and he hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Here he is, Guerrero, holding it up on the edge of the penalty area, and Umtiti's done really well to outmuscle him, help it back to Lloris, who clears away left-footed. To Mbappe on the far side, beaten in the air by Miguel Trauco. And the ball goes out of play again, and it's another throw into Peru inside the French half.
Yeah, that's good play by Peru, making sure when Lloris does clear this, all the French players have been marked nice and tight, can't get comfortable possession. Peru now just coming into France's half, trying to play a little bit of football, a few triangles.
More live football to come after this tonight on 5 Live. Argentina against Croatia is up next. Don't forget, every morning you can get the best analysis and reaction on the 5 Live World Cup daily podcast. It's perfect for your journey to school or to work. You get it from wherever you would normally download a podcast. It's available from all those outlets and in the podcast charts, not just the sports charts, in all podcasts, it's number 2 now. Just Love Island ahead. So watch your backs, Love Island. 5 Live's World Cup Daily are coming for you.
Stop it, I'm getting embarrassed. I'm getting embarrassed now. Stop it now, I'm getting red cheek, sorry.
Pogba clears the ball away, right-footed, high, booming up over the halfway line. Christian Ramos controls, and the French strikers, whenever they see a Peruvian player in the tight corner, they know he's not going to just welly it away, so they run in and press and put pressure on, and the Peruvians still try and usually succeed in working their way out of trouble. Here's a long ball, looking for Guerrero, might have been pushed there, I thought, by Umtiti. Play on to the referee for now. I thought that was a push. Here's a chance though in the penalty area. Carrillo crosses, puts an awful lot on it, and then they hit the side netting. Was it Farfan up there? It was, stretching left-footed. It would have been eye through a needle, or thread through the eye of a needle, and he managed to get it on target from there. He tried his best. He's hit the side netting. France relieved.
Yeah, I think that's Carrillo there, just trying to get that ball in the box. He just picks the wrong pass. He picks the wrong execution of the pass as well, and he just can't get it into Guerrero and Farfan. They're flying in there. Great play though from Peru. They are properly having a good go.
France, sorry Dion, France are going to make a change. Dembele, who started the first game, Ousmane Dembele, the Barcelona player, will come on in place of Kylian Mbappe, the man whose goal separates the teams. Mbappe, who's effectively down there jogging on the spot. He says, I'm moving, we're not really moving. And the Peru players are saying, come on, get off. And now the referee comes over and pushes him in the back and says, come on. And now Mbappe's trying to go out and shake hands with everyone. Anything to waste something. And I think, Dion, that's the biggest compliment you can play to Peru, that with quarter of an hour to go, France are wasting time because they're worried Peru are going to get back in this.
Yeah, because Peru have had the better of the game for the last 5 minutes. They've come into it, they've created chances. that must have taken Mbappe 30 or 40 seconds to get off the pitch.
So Mbappe, who earlier on became the youngest player to ever score in a major tournament for France, overtaking David Trezeguet, and he makes way for Ousmane Dembele, who, although still a youngster, is a whole 2 years older than Kylian Mbappe. He's 21. He is on for his 14th international cap, as France look for fresh legs up front to try and seal this deal and finish it out against a Peru team. The goal came 10 minutes or thereabouts before half-time. France haven't created all that many chances since then to try and double their lead.
They've had a fair amount of the ball. France have had a fair amount of the ball, just can't get into areas where they want to. Giroud at the moment is a bit of a lone striker. That's possibly why Dembele's come on with his pace, maybe going a little bit longer.
Here is Giroud controlling by the corner flag left-hand side. He's dragged Christian Ramos across to keep tabs on him, trying to shield the ball by the corner flag, and Peru get it away. And N'Golo Kante's going to jump in near the halfway line. Cushions a header back to Samuel Umtiti. Infield to Raphael Varane. Peru must scurry after him. Varane veers to the right-hand side of the field, and a short pass to the 22-year-old Stuttgart defender Benjamin Pavard, and then he turns and gives it back to Lloris. And France are trying to use every trick in the book here, trying to be as professional as they can and frustrate Peru. As Matuidi flicks it on, that was intended for either Dembele or Griezmann to run onto, but he flicked it on too far, and Galasse, the goalkeeper, was able to come out and save.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Lloris will be doing that for the last, what have we got now, 13 and a half minutes. He'll make sure that that ball is nowhere near France's goal. They'll have to go off the flick-ons. I don't think they'll be trying to play out too much, the French.
France 1, Peru 0. Santa Maria on the back, to the left-hand side to Miguel Trauco. Now they'll come through the midfield. Pedro Aquino, one of the two changes in the starting lineup for the South Americans tonight. This is Advincula, Luis Advincula. And now Carrillo on the right-hand side, just a couple of paces in from the touchline, midway inside the French half, flicks it with the outside of the boot, but it's too far in front of Edison Flores there, and he won't get anywhere near it, and the ball goes out for a throw into France left full-back position for them.
Yeah, he's saying that he got blocked there, but I don't think he did. I don't think the ball was going to ever get to him, and so gave up on the ghost, to be honest with you.
France give it away again. This is flicked in by Carrillo. Flores tries to play it into space, but Trauco back into the mix once more. Now Carrillo surrounded by French defenders. 4 around him there, and N'Golo Kante wins it back. This is Pogba. That looks like a foul. Pushed by Carrillo in the centre circle. Free kick to France. They'll take their time over this.
That is clever play by Pogba, because he lifted his head up, and as he lifts his head up, Dembele goes. He sees a gap. Pogba says, you know what? I'm going to keep hold of this. I'm going to take the free kick, slow the game down, and use up a couple of very useful minutes.
12 minutes to go, plus the stoppages. This is Pogba on the halfway line. Pulls off Aquino, gives it back to Varane. Varane goes long towards Pavard. I don't think Dembele's had a touch since coming on yet, and he won't get one here because Pavard has lost it. And Guerrero, he looks offside to me. Through ball is played. Guerrero's onto it. Flag is raised. He is offside.
Yeah, Linesman gets it right. It was quite a tight one though. He's desperate to get on the score sheet. He just gets wrong side of Umtiti. Umtiti's the last man. He's about 1.5 yards offside. Unfortunately for him, he's made runs like that all match, and he's not had anything to show for it.
Ricardo Gareca, the Peru coach, the Argentinian, who looks like a sort of a surfer beach bum with the straggly hair down there, and he's just raised both hands out and calm. Just take it, don't push it, we've got time here. Don't hurry everything, he's saying to his players, which I think was the sort of point you were making in advance of that, Dion, as a back heel from Giroud brings in Dembele. Challenge comes in at him. Dembele's relieved of possession. Peru will come again with Aquino inside his own half. France working hard again to get back into position. Carrillo's going to run here, looks a little bit tired for the first time as he doesn't get there ahead of Hernandez, and Hernandez allows the ball out of play, knowing it'll be a throw into France, who still lead 1-0.
Yeah, got to be careful. Got to just really take care of your pass there. Having Kula just switching off. He wanted to get into Carrillo's feet, but he played it a little bit lazy. These are the times when you get at this stage of the game, there's about 11 minutes left. You've got to concentrate on your pass. I know it hurts physically, it hurts mentally, but these are the important times during a game, especially when you're a goal down, and this could be the last 10 minutes in your World Cup.
France make their second change. Griezmann is going to make way. He's worked hard in a supporting role of the strikers. He's not been the main man up front tonight. He goes off. Nabil Fekir, the Lyon forward, who's been linked with a move to Liverpool, a deal that has appeared to be on, off, on again in recent weeks. But Fekir is the man who comes on now to see this through with 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, they're not going to rush this whatsoever, the French. They'll just... N'Golo Kante there, stood over the ball, about 10 yards inside. Peru's half out to the right-hand side. No rush whatsoever. He'll probably step off this now and somebody else will take it, just to waste a bit more time.
Yeah, Edison Flores has gone into the referee's notebook. Free kick to France near the halfway line. Time running out for Peru now inside the final 10 minutes. The card is out again now. I think what he's doing, yes, that is a mistaken identity, and I did think that at the time. Edison Flores was shown the yellow card, but he didn't commit the foul, and the referee has taken out the card. I've never actually seen that before. He's taken out the card and he's waved his hands, and the VAR have actually been the ones who have told him this. The VAR have told the referee, mistaken identity, you've shown the yellow card to the wrong player. It's been now correctly shown to Aquino instead, and I think those who aren't big fans of VAR, it's worked really well there. Free kick is taken by France into the penalty area. Giroud wins the header. Chance here. Stretching is Dembele, and he puts it wide. Almost 2-0 to France.
Yeah, just couldn't get the right connection on it. The ball was straight into Giroud. Giroud just nodded. What an amazing header. He's backing into the 18-yard box. He's in the D area. Gets into the 18-yard. Knocks it down into the path of Dembele. Dembele just can't get his strike off. Start leaning to the right. Didn't connect very well, but great work by Giroud yet again. I didn't see, going back to the yellow card, I didn't see Aquino holding his hand up saying, referee, it was me. He allowed his pal to take that one.
Dembele with a chance there for France. He scored a really good goal for Barcelona against Chelsea in the Champions League this season. N'Golo Kante allows the ball bounce on the edge of the French penalty area, and Pavard volleys it away. But Peru win the ball back again. They have 8 minutes of normal time to go. If it stays like this, Peru's participation will just be for fun. When they play the last game against Denmark, they will mathematically be unable to progress. Fekir here tries a little round-the-world turn, and his legs are taken out from under him by Aquino, the man who's just received that delayed yellow card. He's got to be careful, I'll tell you. He's going to get away with the thing on this occasion. Referee now is the one waving downward palms and saying, calm down.
I actually thought he was going to get another yellow card there, to be honest with you, but referee's done well for him. He's helped him. He's kept him in the World Cup.
Free kick taken for France by Samuel Umtiti, flicked on by Giroud, who's won a lot in the air tonight. Here is Aquino, helping it forward, not quite though, through to Rudiaz, who's come on as a sub. Rudiaz, who's taken the place of Cueva. And Peru, and a last gas salute here. They've just got to go for it now. France showing muscle, showing organisation, making it very difficult for Peru to work their way into the French penalty area.
Yeah, Carrillo there, he could go down the right-hand side, he could play it into Guerrero's feet, but he's waiting for Pogba to come. He's trying to show how strong he is. He gets the free kick on this occasion, but it's happened too many times in this game.
Free kick taken at the back by Christian Ramos. Controlled by Farfan outside the French penalty area. That's what France have done so well. They've kept the Peruvian players outside the box. The dangerous attempts in the second half have been shots from distance. And for all the threatening build-up play, Peru haven't got into the penalty area all that often. Let's see what they do now. Farfan, a chance to turn and face the box now. Guerrero's on the edge of the penalty area. N'Golo Kante sprints over to get close to him. Pavard is there as well. Guerrero goes down a bit of a blind alley, and he manages to win a corner at the end of it. He'll take that. Corner to Peru on the left-hand side.
Yeah, good forward play. Good forward play yet again. Really good forward play. And what the French are doing now, Matuidi now. Matuidi's gone in as a back five when they haven't got the ball, just to keep Peru out of it.
Corner's played in from the far side. Umtiti gets up and wins a header. And here on the big screens, they're just explaining to everyone about the mistaken identity with the yellow card and how it's Aquino and not Flores. And well, at least they're informing the public, which again I think is a very good thing. A lot of the confusion with VAR is because people don't know what's happening. If it's explained to them, you know, I'm not going to say that makes everything right, but that helps some of the confusion. Here is Giroud, 10 yards outside his own penalty area, flicks it on to Fekir. The Lyon player takes a heavy touch, and Vincula gets it back for Peru. Carrillo now, halfway line, right hand side as Peru come forward. Under pressure from Fekir, he turns and he rolls it back into his own half, and Anderson Santamaria and Didier Deschamps, who's brought on Fekir and Dembele as fresh legs up front because he wants to keep up this pressure on the Peruvian defence. He doesn't want them to be able to come out of defence as easily as they have done in stages in the game. Santamaria again, 10 yards outside his own penalty area. The clock ticks on, and we're into the final 5 minutes of normal time now.
Yes, this is it. This is the time that the Peru have really got to go for it. They've still got to concentrate at the back, though. Santamaria and Ramos have got to concentrate, because every time the French get the ball, Dembele is on his bike.
I enjoyed this game. It's been a sensible occasion. France, who were much built up in the build-up, as being potential winners of this World Cup. Are they on the verge of 2 wins out of 2? They'll have to defend here, though. A free kick given away by Pogba and a yellow card shown to Paul Pogba.
I'm not quite sure what that was for, to be honest with you, because Pogba could have actually taken the ball without letting it bounce. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I just think he catches...
Yeah.
Who's that?
Farfan.
Catches Farfan in the face with just a flailing arm. No intent whatsoever, but he does catch him in the face. Referee sees it. This is about 25, 30 yards out, maybe just a little bit too far, but saying that, Guerrero has the ball in his hand.
If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle. I think they've had so few opportunities in this game. Peru might just have a crack here. You know, every week on social media, someone sends around a little video of someone drilling a free kick from miles out. Guerrero has put the ball down. The poster boy, the man everyone in Peru wanted to see start this game, who he started it, and he is giving it a very deliberate posture, is how I would describe it. He is standing over that ball like Cristiano Ronaldo would, proud as a peacock. N'Golo Kante cleverly stood over the ball to make sure nothing fancy was going to happen with a quickly taken free kick or anything like that. It's dead straight in front of the goal. It is dead straight, but it's miles out. It's 12 yards outside the penalty area. This needs a wonder strike, or is it all a decoy? Is he just going to dink it into the box? He takes just 2 steps back. That doesn't look like a long step up. Here he is, Guerrero! And he went for accuracy rather than power. He got it on target, but he's never going to beat Hugo Lloris with a shot like that.
No, absolutely no chance. 2 steps, and then you got to get the power and the accuracy. You got to get it up and down. He really did neither. Easy for Lloris. What he was aiming to do is he was aiming to bounce it in front of Lloris and then get some bits for the oncoming Peru players.
2.5 minutes of the regulation 90 to go. So just to confirm, if it stays like this, France will be through with a game to spare. Peru would be out because they wouldn't be able to catch Denmark. Denmark are on 4 points, France on 6 points in this group. Australia still in with a slender hope on 1 point after their draw against the Danes earlier on today. This is 5 Live from the BBC. Argentina against Croatia, the next match to come. The ball is played down the right-hand side. Carrillo will scamper after it. Lucas Hernandez trying to hold it up. Oh, has he put it out for a corner? No, it's going to be a goal kick. Goal kick to France and a chance for them to relieve the pressure again.
Yeah, anything at all that goes out of play and it's France's ball, they will be taking an eternity here. Carrillo trying to get round the French defender there, who's just seeing it out. Does well, Hernandez, does well. And he gets his team a goal kick.
Stephen Nzonzi, once of Stoke and Blackburn, is about to come on for France as a late change here into the last 90 seconds now. Do you know the really good news, Dion? In this World Cup, there are still 42 games remaining. That's just a long way to go.
That's just what we want. Keep the games coming, please. And can we keep fans like Peru coming as well? Because they've been fantastic.
Well, I think there's going to be a little bit of heartbreak around town. Peruvian fans aren't jumping up and down anymore. They are standing. They're not slumped in their seats. They're standing. Their fingers crossed, toes crossed, the lot. Can there be the late twist here? Ball pumped by the goalkeeper Galise long into the French half. Umtiti, who's had a very good game up against the much lauded Guerrero, wins a header in the air. Now Farfan has it, left hand side of the attack. Dembele shadow runs over to try and keep tabs on him. Peru hold on to the ball, but they're back to the halfway line now. Can they produce one last sting in the tail? Turn by Edison Flores. Under pressure from N'Golo Kante. Kante has another nibble. Still can't win the ball off Flores, though. Peru hold on to it, but they're back midway inside their own half now. What's Flores doing here? He's got a problem.
The ball's flat. The ball has gone down. The ball it's a flat ball. I've seen N'Golo Kante just saying what's happened to the ball. It's just gone flat. That's what they're doing. They're just changing it now.
Yeah, we've seen that happen earlier on in the tournament. France have got the throw. Presumably they're going to give it back. Giroud kicks it out of play for a goal kick. So 90 minutes have expired. There will be 4 added on for stoppages. 4 minutes for Peru to try and save their status in this World Cup.
Yeah, I'm afraid they're going to have to go against their first love of playing total football, and they're going to have to go long, get it into Guerrero.
Here for France is Fekir. He's got Dembele outside him on the right-hand side. Dembele tries to clip it in, and it takes a deflection off the defender. And it will be a corner to France, and this will help kill a lot of time for them. Just to confirm, by the way, Nzonzi, when he came on in place of Pogba, who'd just been booked before that.
Matuidi was just making his way into the box. He's having a go at the referee. He said, did you not see that? He was tripped as he went into the box. The ball didn't make it to the box.
France take the corner short. They're trying to run down the clock here. Fekir in by the corner flag. Trauco leans into him, fouls him, I think. Free kick to France, and this will waste a few more seconds, and we've already played 1 of the 4 minutes being added out. Just feels like Peru have come up short here. The last time Peru won a game at a major tournament was when they beat Scotland in 1978 in that World Cup. That was the last time they won a World Cup match. Here comes the delivery from the right-hand side. Played in by Dembele, easily headed away, and then struck by Matuidi, left-footed volley, but it careers and bends away off target.
I'm actually surprised the French put that into the box. I thought they might have just kept it in the corner. It's in France's hand now. They've just got to make sure they get over line. A couple of minutes left. Clearance
by the Peru goalkeeper Galicier, and again he's rushed it a bit and it's gone out of play. We've now played 2 of the 4 being added on, and Ricardo Careca, who all game has been appealing for Cam, now he says forget about Cam. We're too late for Cam. let's just absolutely bomb. He's pointing at his centre half. He says, you get up there, edge of the penalty area. Giroud controls to the halfway line for Peru, running out of time. The seconds are sifting away, but now they've got a free kick. Now this is a chance to pump it into the box, and everyone has got to go forward here surely. Advincula, the right back, is going to take. The Peruvian fans are all waving. They say, come on, get up there. And every outfield player does. The goalkeeper Galise stays back. Every other outfield player is up in attack for Peru. Needs to be a good delivery. Advincula, Hail Mary stuff now. High and hopeful into the box. There's a flicked on header, but it's harmless from Guerrero, and it goes out for a goal kick to France.
Yeah, that was their chance. I think they may have had it. I think they tried their hardest, Connor. I think that was their last gasp chance. Unfortunately, didn't get a good head on it. They've really given it a good go, but the quality again has just shone. Some really good football from the French in fits and starts, and they've got over the line by the looks of it.
Yeah, they've not been humiliated, Peru. You know, they missed that penalty in the first game. They created so many chances against Denmark and lost. And here this evening in Ekaterinburg in eastern Russia, they have come up just short. The 1 goal scored by Kylian Mbappe. As here comes Dembele now, trying to put a seal on things. Crosses from inside the penalty area, right-hand side. Header up into the air by Advincula. Out comes the goalkeeper to grab. And we've 30 seconds of the 4 minutes remaining. Drilled straight down the pitch. The roof will come off the stadium if Peru can get the equaliser. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen. N'Golo Kante intercepts, gives it to Matuidi, and he'll set off towards the touchline again and just try to keep this ball alive and keep it out of Peruvian possession. Now Giroud dribbles around one defender, gets into the penalty area, shoots. Good blocking. Lunge there to put it out for a corner to France, and that is going to run the clock down even further.
Yes, Cueva just getting in there to block Giroud. He just pulled the trigger and he was there to block it. Corner for France.
And the French have no intention of taking this. No French player has even got out towards the corner. And Carrillo will play ball boy. He says, here, I'll place it for you. Any chance you get a move on? Dembele slouches and trudges over. And we've now played 20 seconds more than the 4 that were due to be allotted. The referee brings the whistle to his mouth. That's it. France are through with a game to spare. They will be in the last 16. Peru will play their final game against Australia with nothing to win from it. It will be a dead rubber for them. Peru are out of the World Cup. Their players are distraught. Their huge, proud band of supporters are stunned in Yekaterinburg. And it's the small, hardy band of French supporters who now raise their tricolours in the air and celebrate. France have won 2 out of 2, Dion Dublin.
Yes, they have. And you know what? They haven't really shone yet. They were better tonight, much better tonight. Played some really good stuff. Olivier Giroud was outstanding. Pogba controlled the game for 60 minutes. Peru had their chances though. They really gave it a go. The fans tried their hardest to be the 12th man. They just couldn't get over the line. France deserve it. Unlucky Peru.
Kylian Mbappe scored the goal, helped by a big deflection on the way through to him after Giroud's shot could have gone anywhere. It landed into the lap of Kylian Mbappe, and it's that one goal that wins the game for the French here. They are through to the last 16. France 1, Peru 0.